It was just a normal day. I got up, my eyes barely open as I brushed my teeth. I didn't know what it was about today. I just had this feeling. I put it out of my mind as I got dressed and headed for the train station. I ruffled around for my headphones in my bag. As I stepped onto the train looking around, I didn't know where to sit. I never knew where to sit. I didn't want to sit next to anyone because of my anxiety, but I didn't want to sit on my own, thus closing myself off further from the world just a little bit more. Before I knew it, the train halted at my stop, and I pushed and weaved my way through the hustle and bustle of bodies, managed to find my way off the train, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, that relief was short-lasting. Suddenly, that strange feeling I had earlier crept its way back inside of me, sending shivers down my spine, and I began to recognize it. Fear. Longing for something. I scurried my way to my office, trying to keep my mind occupied on work. My day rolled on at the office. A stupid joke or two, way too many cups of coffee. Just an ordinary day. Finally, 5 p.m. ticked round with the snow falling. Darkness falls earlier now. Good thing I brought my coat. Stepping outside once again, I took a breath of the crisp, cold, wintry air. My breath was like smoke from a chimney. Every footstep crunching the snow beneath me was so satisfying. I pulled my headphones onto my ears and tuned out the world. But then I paused. There it is again. That feeling. It started in the pit of my stomach, but quickly started to consume my whole body like a blazing wildfire, my heart thumping against my chest so hard I thought it could fall out. I needed to get home. But as I stepped in the road, I heard a blood-curdling scream. It came from behind and was so deafeningly loud, it almost muffled my music to pure silence. I spun around to see what was going on before I even reached the source of the scream. A car came hurtling towards me at a terrifying speed. I stopped, stood still, frozen in panic. The car missed me by mere inches, but I am definitely sure I felt the car go through me. The wheels of the car screeched as it stopped abruptly. Tears pricked my eyes, and with the overwhelming situation, I started to run for the fear the driver would be enraged. I ran so fast my headphones slipped off my head. I wasn't going back for them. I broke for an alleyway, unable to control my panic. I finally get to the train station. I noticed something was wrong. My bag. I left my bag at the office. How could I be so stupid? Fortunately, the office opened on Saturday, so I could grab it tomorrow before anybody else shows up. No one would know I left it. As I made my way to my platform, a sudden euphoric sense washed over me. It was the feeling. It was gone. It felt like it left it off me. I couldn't explain the relief I felt. On the train, there was nowhere to sit again, but now I didn't mind. Holding onto the rail, my crippling depression, my anxiety that had plagued me for so long, had just vanished. I sprinted towards the sliding doors as the train pulled at my stop, racing past other passengers. I take a step onto the platform, but my foot never made it there. The ground vanished beneath me. All that remained was a black void. Just black everywhere. I looked around at the other passengers, alarmed. They were gone, as if they never existed at all. The doors of the train slammed shut, almost trapping my foot like a vice. The lights flickering, the train started to move, picking up speed faster and faster until the force threw me into a seat. The train was being dragged into a black hole. One by one, the train cars filled with darkness. It was silent, disturbingly silent. My soul was leaving my body and floating like a leaf in the wind on an autumn's day. I screwed my eyes shut, begging it would stop. I heard a sound, a familiar sound, pounding in my head like a drum beat. My alarm. I woke up screaming, my bedsheets sudden and constricting me. I struggled my way out and jumped up. I felt the warmth drain from my face. Shaking, I stumbled to the window and cracked it open, hoping the frosty air would slap the sense back into me, but I felt nothing. I saw the sunrise in the distance. My bag was still at the office, I remembered suddenly. I glanced over to my wall clock. 8:15 a.m. I had 45 minutes. I could still get to the office before anybody else got there. I hauled my clothes back on rather awkwardly. I bolted out of my apartment complex. I hailed down a cab, but it continued past me like I didn't even exist. I didn't have time to wait. I had to run. I moved through the crowds like a ghost, not caring if I hit anyone. I felt possessed. In an instant, I collided with someone, my shoulder embedded into theirs, and we both stumbled to the floor. I didn't check if they were hurt. I just got back up. Before I could continue, I felt a hand took the bottom of my shirt, a man clutching onto me. "Hey, don't I know you?" he mumbled. I yanked away from him. I took off again without looking back, but I knew he was following me. I didn't say anything, but I could hear his footsteps echoing mine. Why was he following me? I saw an opportunity and I dove behind a dumpster in an alleyway and watched as this strange man ran straight past, and I allowed my heartbeat to settle before I stood back up. I checked behind me and there he was, standing there, like an apparition. I clenched my fist in exasperation. "What do you want from me?" I asked. He smiled questionably. "I knew it was you." "I'm sorry," I replied. "What do you mean?" He adjusted his tattered tie and "Allow me to explain." The man escorted me down the street. I unwillingly followed, clock watching as I walked. "Where are we going?" I exclaimed with every block we traversed. "Not much further now," he replied. Another 2 blocks down, he started mumbling so quietly I could barely hear what he was saying. I quickened my pace to catch up with him. He told me about his family, his job, his life. I wasn't really interested. I just wanted to grab my bag from my office and get back home. We walked for what seemed miles, and I was beginning to feel the frustration taking over me, but finally I saw some familiar features of the city I knew so well. I started piecing the city together like a map, but I stopped. The alleyway I ran into yesterday after the accident confused me, and the tattered man continued walking. I saw the road where the car almost hit me. I saw my headphones. I saw candles and flowers surrounding a picture of me.